Fame is a double-edged sword. One moment you're at the top of the world, adored by millions, and the next, you're watching your reputation crumble faster than a soggy cookie. Some stars manage to survive scandals, but others? Well, they set their careers on fire, handed out marshmallows, and watched the blaze. Here's a look at celebrities who let their own behavior cost them everything. Number 10. Kanye West. From genius to PR nightmare. Once a cultural icon and musical mastermind, Kanye West didn't just change the sound of hip-hop, he reshaped the entire industry. But somewhere between his early Grammy-winning albums and his later years, his microphone drops turned into full-blown controversies. Fans stood by him through his unpredictable rants, bizarre interviews, and that infamous stage invasion involving Taylor Swift. But recent years have been a roller coaster ride straight off the rails. From his outlandish political statements to historically tone-deaf remarks, Kanye seemed determined to push boundaries, just not in a good way. The final straw? His anti-Semitic comments. It wasn't just a PR hiccup, it was a career killer. Major brands, including Adidas, Balenciaga, and Gap, wasted no time in cutting ties with him. Even the most die-hard fans started unfollowing, deleting his songs from playlists, and selling his once-coveted merchandise. At this rate, his next album release party might just be him and an aux cord in an empty warehouse. Number 9. Ellen DeGeneres. From America's sweetheart to Hollywood's coldest shoulder. For nearly 2 decades, Ellen DeGeneres was the queen of daytime television. With her contagious laugh, spontaneous dance moves, and feel-good interviews, she built an empire on the slogan, "Be kind." But as it turns out, kindness had its limits, especially behind the scenes. In 2020, the cracks in her empire became impossible to ignore. Former staff members revealed a toxic work environment behind the scenes of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, describing workplace bullying, intimidation, and absurd rules like allegedly being told not to make eye contact with Ellen. Yikes. Things really took a turn when celebrities, including Dakota Johnson, subtly shaded Ellen's not-so-friendly nature. Damage control mode was activated, but apologies couldn't undo the damage. Ratings tanked, sponsors bailed, and after 19 seasons, the show was canceled in 2022. It turns out, no amount of dancing can make people forget when you're not actually walking the talk. Number 8. Lea Michele. Mean girl energy off-screen too. Lea Michele became a household name thanks to her role as Rachel Berry on Glee. Ambitious, talented, and just a little insufferable, Rachel was known for her diva energy. The shocking part? Lea's real-life reputation wasn't too different. In 2020, former Glee co-star Samantha Ware called Lea out, claiming she made her time on set a nightmare. Other cast members quickly backed up the claims, spilling stories of silent treatment, snarky comments, and downright mean girl behavior. The internet wasn't kind. Lea lost brand deals, got dragged across social media, and even her attempt at a Broadway comeback in Funny Girl couldn't completely salvage her reputation. She later apologized, saying she had grown and learned from her mistakes. But for many fans, the damage had already been done. Number 7. James Corden. From Carpool Karaoke to Carpool Catastrophe. James Corden seemed like the lovable, goofy Brit who made celebrities sing in their cars. But off-camera, his reputation wasn't quite as charming. In 2022, restaurant owner Keith McNally publicly banned James from his New York City hotspot, calling him a tiny cretin of a man. Ouch. The crime? Allegedly throwing a tantrum over an omelette. Yes, an omelette. Once the floodgates opened, others came forward with stories of Corden being dismissive, rude, and just plain unpleasant to work with. Fans felt duped by his bubbly on-screen persona, and despite attempts at apologizing, the damage stuck. His late-night show wrapped up, and suddenly, Hollywood didn't seem so interested in casting him anymore. Number 6. J.K. Rowling. The magic fades away. J.K. Rowling created one of the most beloved literary universes in history. But in recent years, her reputation took a nosedive that not even a magic spell could fix. It all started in 2019 when Rowling made controversial remarks about gender identity, sparking outrage. What started as a few eyebrow-raising tweets quickly turned into a full-blown debate, with many accusing her of being dismissive toward marginalized communities. The backlash was massive. Harry Potter stars Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint distanced themselves from her. Fan pages declared they no longer supported her. Even bookstores that once displayed her books proudly began reconsidering. Despite the uproar, Rowling doubled down, publishing lengthy essays defending her views. The divide grew even deeper when Hogwarts Legacy, a game based on her books, sparked debates over whether supporting it meant endorsing her. While she remains a best-selling author, her legacy now comes with a massive asterisk. Number 5. Amber Heard, Hollywood's most talked-about courtroom drama. Amber Heard was steadily climbing the ranks of Hollywood with roles in blockbusters like Aquaman. Then came 2022, the trial of the decade. Her defamation case against Johnny Depp turned into a spectacle, with every moment analyzed, memed, and turned into TikTok trends. Testimony recordings, viral edits, and meme-worthy moments flipped public opinion against her faster than a poorly written movie script. The fallout was brutal. A petition to remove her from Aquaman 2 gathered over 4 million signatures. Her screen time in the sequel was allegedly slashed, and Hollywood's doors suddenly didn't seem so open anymore. She has since moved to Spain and keeps a low profile, but the internet never forgets. Number 4. Joe Rogan, when a podcast becomes a problem. Joe Rogan built a media empire with the Joe Rogan Experience, but with great influence comes great controversy. During the pandemic, Rogan gave airtime to questionable medical advice that had health experts collectively face-palming. Then came the resurfaced clips compilations of him using racial slurs and making controversial statements. The internet went into overdrive. Celebrities who once backed him, like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, quickly distanced themselves. Spotify, which had signed him for a reported $100 million, had to do major damage control, removing episodes and scrambling to clean up the mess. Though Rogan still has a loyal fan base, his reputation took a serious hit. Turns out, when you have one of the biggest microphones in the world, people really listen, and not always in a good way. Number 3. Jenny McCarthy, the queen of misinformation. Jenny McCarthy went from 90s icon to daytime TV personality to full-on science denier. Once beloved for her humor and charm, McCarthy became one of the loudest celebrity voices against vaccines. Despite mountains of research debunking her claims, she doubled down, using talk shows, books, and interviews to spread misinformation. The impact? Parents listened, vaccine hesitancy skyrocketed, and doctors collectively groaned in frustration. Her reputation took a hit, and instead of being remembered for her comedy, she became the poster child for why celebrities shouldn't dish out medical advice. The irony? If she had just stuck to making people laugh, her career wouldn't have caught the wrong kind of fever. Number 2. Chevy Chase, comedy legend turned Hollywood's least favorite colleague. Chevy Chase was once comedy royalty, but his reputation aged like expired milk. Stories of his difficult behavior stretch back decades. From Saturday Night Live to Community, colleagues described him as rude, dismissive, and unbearable. Even legendary tough guy Bill Murray allegedly threw hands with him once. Fans who once adored his slapstick humor started seeing a different side, and it wasn't pretty. Number 1. Alec Baldwin, a short fuse and a big fall. Alec Baldwin's temper is so legendary it could have its own Internet Movie Database page. His outbursts ranged from scuffles with paparazzi to getting booted off flights. But in 2021, tragedy struck when a prop gun incident on the set of Rust led to a devastating loss of life. Instead of handling it with quiet reflection, Baldwin gave interviews and denied responsibility, making many question his judgment. His charm no longer overshadowed his temper, leaving Hollywood reconsidering just how much patience they had left for him. And that, my friends, is a masterclass in how to fumble a perfectly good career. If you enjoyed watching these celebrity train wrecks unfold from the safety of your screen, make sure to smash that like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories. And hey, drop a comment below. Which fallen star surprised you the most? Or better yet, tell us which celebrity you think is one bad tweet away from joining this list.